Hi, I'm Francis, the host of this show, Cooking with Dog.
こんにちは。今日は日本特有のシャリアピンステーキを作ります。たっぷりの玉ねぎを使い、お肉を柔らかく美味しくいただけるよう工夫されています。
First, cover the sirloin or rump steak with plastic wrap. And pound the meat with a rolling pin until the thickness reaches about 8 mm. Remove the plastic wrap and gently pound it with a meat tenderizer or the back of a knife. If the meat is tough, pound it a little strong using the coarse face of the head. Now, flip it over. Repeat the process on the other side of the meat. Alternatively, you can use beef round or tenderloin. Next, make numerous cuts along the steak, making a 5 mm grid pattern. Flip it over and make a grid pattern again, but be careful not to separate the steak. Now, distribute half the grated onion onto a tray. And place the meat onto it. Cover the top with the rest of the onion. The enzymes in the onion will break down the proteins, making the meat extra tender. Cover the tray with plastic wrap and let it sit in a relatively cool place for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Now, let's saute the onion. Drop in the butter and coat the pan with it. Then, add the chopped onion. Saute on high heat. When the onion begins to slightly brown, reduce the heat to low. Then, season it with salt and pepper. Continue sauteing until browned as shown. Remove and save the onion on a tray. Now, let's cook the steak. Scrape off the grated onion from both sides. The enzymes will not work when cooked, so make sure to use raw onion. Then, lightly remove the excess liquid with a paper towel. Season the top side with salt and pepper. And now, turn on the burner. Add the olive oil to a pan. Place the steak into the heated pan with the seasoned side facing down. Then, sprinkle on salt and pepper. Cook on medium heat. This steak is relatively thin, so flip it over when the other side is golden brown. Shake the pan or gently press the meat with the tongs to help it brown evenly. Now, both sides are deliciously browned. Remove and place the steak onto a plate. Next, place the sauteed onion into the pan. Reheat the pan and coat the onion with the remaining beef juice. Finally, drop 1 teaspoon of soy sauce directly on the pan and toss to coat, bringing out the savory aroma. Remove and place the onion onto the steak. And distribute the onion. Then make a grid pattern on top. Finally, sprinkle on the parsley leaves. This dish was devised by the chef at the Imperial Hotel Tokyo in 1936, where Russian opera singer Fyodor Shaliapin requested an extra tender steak.
しっかり炒めた玉ねぎがこのステーキによく合ってとっても美味しいです。
Adding the right amount of salt is very important, since it will not only season the meat, but also bring out the savory flavor. Good luck in the kitchen!